Burning bridges is my specialty. Dating dads is my fatality.
I'm a Broadway bear, and I'm here to take center stage.
Hello, I'm Hunter Jumscare Pardon.
And I'm Papa the Bear.
And welcome to Real Housebears. Hi, it's Whitney. I know some stuff about you guys and this podcast, but I don't want to get in the middle of it.
Well, Whitney, as our friend...
Okay, I'll tell you. I will tell you. You know Hunter Harden, right?
Yeah.
Your husband?
Yeah, I know him really well.
Yeah. Listen, I don't want to get in the middle of this.
You don't want to get in the middle of it?
But I'll tell you anyways.
Okay.
He is sleeping around on you.
Yeah?
With women. But I don't want to get in the middle of this. This is horrible to say, and I just don't want to be involved, so bye.
I feel really icky and silly right now.
Oh my God. You know what? That is nothing I've ever even considered in my life. How crazy, I don't know. Like, what would be more difficult to find out that your partner was cheating on you with the same sex or with the opposite sex?
I think it'd be easier to take with the opposite sex, I think.
I don't know. I would be like, I don't even know you.
Either way, I'll kill a bitch.
Bring it, bitch.
I'm just joking.
Well, that's funny.
And welcome to spooky season.
I know.
It's October and Halloween. We have spooky vision right now. Spooky vision. So spooky.
You know, I kind of have spooky vision because my head is still spinning, like coming back from vacation.
Have you recovered?
I have not. I'm still not caught up with life.
I still haven't unpacked.
I know. It's been
my life, and then I started not feeling well this last couple of days, so this is why it's a little bit late, but we're here, we're queer, and we're doing this podcast.
And how much fun that we got to do this podcast with Abe this week.
Is that our fourth house husband?
Well,
so we've had Frank,
yes,
we've had Justin,
yes.
We've had Seth.
Yeah.
Wait,
Seth has not been on the podcast.
No, Seth has not been on the
he's
podcast.
our third.
Ooh.
But Abe was so easy to talk to.
He was surprisingly easy to talk to, and I love that he left his face scruff on for us because he wanted to be like a bear like us. I mean, he must have heard from me like the Jessel story, you know.
Well, while I would categorize him probably as an otter, he's certainly an honorary bear in my heart.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, he could be whatever he wants.
Bring in the gays. Bring in a unicorn.
Yeah, right.
But I love that he wanted, because a lot of guys, when you ask them, if you did want to hook up with a guy, who would it be? I think a lot of guys would, go towards, a femme-looking guy. But, Abe's like, if I'm going to go all for it, I'm going to go all for it. I want a man.
Yeah, get it. I think we could party compatibly with Abe.
Abe, we need to go to Burning Man.
Yeah.
That's what we need to do.
And Abe, also being a gem of a guy, he badgered his wife, Erin, until she finally, I'm sure he didn't. It didn't take
It wasn't hard. Thank you, Erin, for following
Erin
us.
is the next Horcrux that we have acquired.
Erin, we're going to get you.
And it's so nice. The New York housewives are very generous to us. They all will comment and DM on our posts.
Apparently, I have to really give it to Bryn for sharing my Jessel video to everybody, I guess, because Abe says we have some fans. I'm like, well, start adding us and be on our show.
I mean, we have most of them. We're missing Sai and Uba. And
is Jessel following us?
And Jessel. Oh no! Even I forgot.
Jessel.
Listen. I do not forget about Jessel. I feel completely differently about Jessel than I felt at the beginning of the season.
Oh my gosh!
These two came at me.
Even I like her almost the best right now.
I don't know that she is my top queen, but I am into the hype. But let's not talk about New York yet.
Okay.
We have a few people this week who are Housebears famous. The first person I feel may have been Housebears famous before, but I would just feel like the biggest jerk ever if it was an oversight that Snowbuck
Oh, yes.
Was not Housebears famous. This guy is so funny. Like, he changes his handle on all of his social medias on a regular basis. Like, one day his name might be Lisa's missing $60,000 ring. Or the next day, he might be Erin's sunglasses. You know, just really funny, clever things. And not too bad to look at if you look at his IG posts.
I think you're cheating on me.
Yes. He is a local guy. He's a skier.
I see. Here we go.
I just
It's going to unfold. It's a core scandal.
Look what you started.
A bear scandal.
So, thank you. You've been a listener and engaging with us for a very long time. And if we've had an oversight all this time, our bad.
That's it? That's all you have?
Another really fun person we've been chatting with a little bit lately is the _bear_god, the bear god. Been a lot of fun talking about Salt Lake City and talking about Bravo, and he really made me laugh when he said that he got on one of like those gay social media apps and changed his location to Park City just to see if Sean was.
Oh my gosh.
Well, here we go.
So thanks for listening, thanks for engaging, and thanks for making me laugh.
Thanks. You both are #HouseBears
Housebears famous. And you know who is the ultimate #Housebears famous?
Well, that had to be Dre.
Yes. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to co-owner of Beauty Lab and Laser, co-host of Live Love Lab podcast, co-creator of our Salt Lake City Choir,
And our good friend.
and co-owner of my heart.
Yes, I agree.
Dre Robinson, happy birthday.
Happy
We love
birthday.
you.
Happy birthday to you.
Look at that.
Happy birthday to you.
Seth and Meredith starting off at dinner. Let's get these rumors out.
Yes.
Seth's trying. He's like, so what are these rumors?
How is
huh?
the desert, girl?
Yeah. Well, we really just get a recap
Of
of
everybody's
what's
fights.
been going on. Whitney and Angie K were already at Palm Springs. Angie K unleashed at Meredith at dinner. Lisa lost her ring.
You guys, I'm so upset about my ring.
And Angie K was really just relentless throughout the whole thing.
And Monica thinking Lisa's tone deaf.
Yes, right. You know, I did notice when I was rewatching to get some sound bites. One time when when Whitney and Meredith are yelling in each other's face, Angie K is right by her going, Meredith. Hey, Meredith. Like, Angie K really has been relentless.
She really has been.
It's really funny. But there are all these rumors about Angie K that Meredith has heard. And it's just like, well, what is it? What is it? And Meredith's like, well, let's just say she ain't going to dig on me and not have karma come back on her.
I mean, it's already happening.
Right? But it feels like Meredith is ready with guns a-blazing. Well, at the Mint Facial Bar.
The Mint.
My first reaction was, why are they not at Beauty Lab and Laser?
Because that's what I thought too. But then I don't think Beauty Lab and Laser doesn't have those face screening things.
But they do facials. But really, if they did it at Beauty Lab and Laser, then it would be a scene with Heather. Mm-hmm. You know, just a scene with Meredith and Lisa. It just makes sense that they're not at Beauty Lab and Laser, you know? But I kind of do and kind of don't want to do this face laser thing.
I'm terrified of it.
Yes, because I don't
take care of my face. I definitely don't exfoliate that much.
No, listen, I still have some old Iris and Bow product because I use it so sparingly.
You need to throw it out because it's expired.
It's such good stuff, though. But I love that as soon as the scene starts, they acknowledge how happy they are to be friends again and to be on good terms again. This Lisa Barlow story about getting kicked out of the tanning salon is one of my favorite things in the world.
It's such a Lisa Barlow thing, too.
Right. I mean, of course, yes, it's a horrible thing to do to someone who's getting ready to close their salon. But if you got a half hour left open, you got a half hour left open, right?
And the customer's always right.
You should never raise your voice and get enough to get kicked out of a tanning salon.
Well, they screwed up because they got rid of a good customer.
Yeah, Lisa's still going to tan. She's going to give someone else her money. That's for sure. So Meredith's scan shows a little bit of dead skin cells.
Didn't look too bad.
Yeah.
And then Lisa does it, and it looks like Michael Myers' face.
This machine is just rude.
She was afraid of that, and boy, did it. They catch up on family while they're getting their facials. All of Meredith's kids are at the house. Lisa's really dreading Jack leaving the house for his mission.
It's crazy that he can't even, like, leave, even if he... Like, I mean, they're like, well, you could get yourself home.
Yeah.
If you leave, I mean, that's
and
crazy.
And we can kick you out of the church forever.
And take your family away. Right? I mean, it's crazy.
But poor Lisa, she's crying every day. But Meredith is right. You're like, your goal in life as a parent is to, foster children who are going to grow up to be responsible adults who can go on a mission anywhere in the country or the world and be okay. Mm-hmm. Isn't that what we all would hope for? But Lisa's like, I don't mind taking off my makeup for this facial. But they didn't give her that such bad edit. But she's like, I am never dressing up again, you guys. Forget it. No more theme parties. No, I'm done.
Lisa just wants to be Lisa, and I'm so happy for her.
But she's even throwing like this après-ski, no-ski party, but that's the only theme. You don't have to dress. You don't have to do anything.
I mean, it is winter outside already, so you're going to be coming in a coat.
But she's inviting everyone, including Monica, which I had hoped for a minute that it would go well. Over at the 8 Settlers Distillery, I want to go there.
It looks good.
Yes, we love a distillery.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it.
Monica arrives first, and I thought it was interesting that she specifically asked for the bar. Even though probably it was already decided they were going to sit at the bar because the lights are already out.
I know.
Monica's dog got out in Palm Springs and no one wanted to worry her. I sounds like it was chaos back at that. Because
I know.
Her mom clearly wasn't present.
No.
The teenage daughter is running the whole house.
And she's probably overwhelmed already.
Yes, but I'm glad.
They found him.
But this, dog finding website, I didn't even know such a thing existed.
They have a lot of those groups on Facebook, too.
Yeah,
local groups.
True. So Whitney's like, listen, I like your vibe, but I'm a little bit nervous about becoming friends with you because I saw how... Oh, did I say Monica?
No, you didn't say anything, I don't think.
Okay. Well, Whitney tells Monica all of those things, but she's like, I don't like the way that you just quickly turned on your friends, Angie K in particular. Like, are you going to be that kind of friend to me? And
I would be like... Yes, if you're doing something wrong, I'm not just going to blindly follow you just because you're my friend. I'm going to check you.
Well, that's what Monica said, really.
I know. I'm like, that is crazy. I was like, Whitney, are you really just going to go along with just because they're your friend? I thought this was weird.
Yeah, well, they got through it pretty quickly.
Yeah, Monica did. And she's like, I just want you to explain yourself. I'm like, she just explained herself.
Right,
literally just explained herself. But you know Whitney, she's an Inspector Whitney.
She is. She really is. Then Whitney gives a warning about being too close to Meredith because Meredith is, again, the type of person who will share your rumors when you cross her.
And I love it that Whitney also says, I just don't want to get involved, but I need to warn you about things, and I need to tell you things, too.
Yeah, my favorite part is when Monica was like, so was Meredith, being serious, or was she was kidding? And when he's like, no, she got her serious eye out. And she, leans in with one eye. I thought that was so funny. Well, Meredith does this to everyone. She'll do it to Monica, too. Whitney hasn't seen Angie K yet, so she hasn't said anything to her yet. Now, over at Justin and Whitney's, where is my Superman cake? You better by November 12th find out where that Superman cake came from, and you better by November 12th have that Superman cake delivered to me.
It's my birthday. My birthday. It's my birthday. Happy birthday to me.
You bet not be talking to me.
No, I'm talking to our listeners.
Yeah, because you best not be talking to me about that. You'll get a cake.
That cake was incredible.
It was very pretty. I loved it.
That is right up my alley.
And thank God she didn't drop it this time. I completely forgot about that cake ordeal.
Me too, but when they did that flashback, I had a good laugh about it again. That was so funny. So, I think a lot of us have wondered why Justin hasn't been working for the past year or so.
No, I think he said that during the reunions and stuff.
Oh, did he? I didn't remember that.
That he was going to be unemployed for a year.
Okay, I didn't remember that. So it was good to know. I thought that maybe he was just having a hard time finding a job, and that was making me sad for them,
I was like, he's enjoying being off.
Bobby looks like a young woman now.
She looks completely different.
Holy cow.
13 changes.
And Brooks might just be the cutest little thing that's ever been born. He's so cute.
Her hair. is beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was just straight, and it didn't seem like it had that much, like, volume of color in it, but now her hair is, like, super, you could really see the red
she
in
looks
it.
like a teenager. She's wearing makeup. It's like, oh
She
my
really
God,
changed
where
quick.
has time gone? Well, Whitney and Justin really quickly realize, oh, we haven't talked about how this is going to change our life when you go back to work. And this is kind of an uncomfortable moment because Whitney kind of goes hard on him.
Yeah, and he's just like, well, what did you think was going to happen?
I don't know what was maybe edited out, but Whitney was hearing him say, I'm done with all of my parental duties, where I didn't hear that watching it.
Yeah, they must have had conversations before this.
Yeah, it was because I didn't feel like he was. Well, again, it seemed like they just hadn't talked about it, and this is like, oh my God, what have I done? Now, what do we do? And my only reaction is to get heated about it. You know? And they even just leave the scene like, how's it going to work? I don't know.
We'll figure it out, I guess.
I mean, that's really all you can do is you take it day by day, prioritize your family. But, when you're new to a job, you have to impress.
And also, like, y'all are in nice neighborhoods. Like, if it's walkable, walk to school. If it's not walkable, take the bus.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand why taking the kids to school. My mom never took me to school. I rode my bike miles, and just so I didn't have to take the bus.
I don't think it's as common for kids to take the bus nowadays as it used to be. I think most parents want to shield their kids from the crap that happens on a school bus, and I think it's more common than ever that parents are taking their kids to school.
Yeah, things happen on a bus. Things happen at a school, too. But on the bus, a lot of fun things can happen, too. Like, I remember that Bloodhound Gang, like they do it on the Discovery Channel. Do it. Yeah. That song come on, and everybody on the bus would just giggle and laugh.
So our bus driver was a total wench. Like, I was in elementary school in the late 70s and early 80s. I'm an old man. And we would, like, sing songs on the bus together on the way home. And we were doing it, like, every day and having a great time. And one day our bus driver just told us she was tired of the noise and we were never allowed to sing songs on the bus again.
I remember when I was taking the bus in middle school, and we would stop at a stop sign before we would keep going, and I was like, would you mind just dropping me off right here at stuff, because my house is literally right there. And she's like, oh, you're a block away from the pickup zone, you're not supposed to be riding the bus anymore. I was literally like 4 houses down from, and I got kicked off the bus and I was never allowed to ride it again because I was just like a street away from the pickup zone.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And I also wasn't in the Cub Scouts either, so I have a lot of things to be upset about school. Yeah.
Well, if you were Angie K and Sean's child, you wouldn't have all that trauma because you would have every need catered to you.
I mean, she's an only child, and they really focus on that.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, she can't do anything.
No, and they can't be husband and wife, apparently.
But did you see her room? All the awards? And she's got a fireplace and a huge bathroom.
She seems like a great kid. Listen, you can't always control your child the way that your children turn out. So, nature, nurture, other types of circumstances. But, when you do invest that much time and effort into your child, as long as you're being a positive influence, they're going to be more successful because they're being catered, they're being provided for in a way that other kids aren't.
Yeah, it's always when when 13 hits and all of a sudden they don't want to do anything with their parents, and that's when the fights start happening because the parents are like, I don't want to, I'm a helicopter mom, I want to be right behind you, and they're like, I want space, I'm 13.
Right, and then now they're doing like stuff after school, but now you have to deal with your spouse. Mm-hmm. And that's going to be happening real soon for these two.
Well, I don't think they're going to have any issues.
I mean, it sounds like they haven't hardly had a conversation without their daughter there in the past, 13 years.
That's true.
And so I think it is going to be an issue for them to, you have to get reacquainted with each other.
Get back into the zone.
Well, up at Park City, Heather's with her girls, Georgia and Annabelle. Talk about young women.
I know, jeez. Everyone's growing up so quick.
I know. I realize it's been 4 years, and kids do grow up fast, but it just feels like it was yesterday.
Well, yeah. Well, especially when we don't see them every day.
I guess now that I had yesterday, another thing that happened yesterday is that I had 6 injections in my lower back to deal with some lower back pain. So now that I'm, hopefully going to be free of lower back pain, I need to go skiing. 450 calories an hour.
And then we'll be right back in the hospital with back pain. I mean, the first day you will not make it.
Well, listen, I know that skiing involves pizza and French fries. Count me in.
It's not really food, though. It's not eating pizza and fries.
No. Screw skiing then. But I'll have some hot chocolate without the snow, thanks.
Yeah. I used to eat snow and stuff, but then I realized, like, all that pollution in the air, like, comes dragged down in that snow.
Yeah. And the yellow might be the tastiest, but it's not the right kind.
No. It's never lemon.
My mom never let me skip school. I can't think of one day that my mom let me skip school just to go hang out. I'm sure there were days, and I don't remember them, but did you ever get days to just skip school to hang out with your mom?
No, but there were, whenever I would go get, like, my teeth cleaning or something, my mom would take me to, like, McDonald's or something before taking me to school.
Right.
Or actually, it was Red Lobster. She would always take me Red Lobster. And I would always get chicken nuggets.
I mean, even driving through Taco Bell would be better.
Oh my God, what a nightmare. So, speaking of taking kids to school, Heather gets anxiety taking Annabelle in particular to school because of the bullying. And now a lot of people on social media are saying, like, Heather's putting on for this and Heather's asserting this onto her kids and things like that.
Are you kidding me?
The last time you and I saw Heather, well, maybe not the last time, but the last time or two, she talked about this. Like, this is a real thing that's been really concerning her in her real life, not just on camera.
I mean, and they're obviously getting tormented and bullied because of this.
You
Like,
get a
they're
cookie
getting
delivered
pushed.
to you with the C word on it?
Yeah, like, that's not, like, to say that a mother doesn't care about their children, that's really ridiculous. That's not putting on airs for the camera. That's real.
And a child turned their chair around in
Oh my
class
God.
when they
I'm
got to
so
do a
over-
presentation.
Oh, I'm so over.
I can't imagine a kid being that mean. I mean, I realize that they are, but I just can't imagine.
Kids don't know how to interact in social. They only know how to interact with a screen in front of them, like between words like that. They don't know how to do it in person.
You know,
And so they're just rude.
These girls have such a good head on their shoulders, though, and they communicate really well. Mm-hmm. They really speak very maturely and say exactly what they need to say and really convey how they're feeling pretty eloquently, I guess.
And when they're talking about all this and, like, Heather's afraid, like, they're being tormented and they're being bullied at school. And the whole time I was listening to this, I'm just like, welcome to being gay, or welcome to being a different color or different than anyone else at school. Like, you've been living a white girl's life your whole life, and, like, this is what life is for a lot of people. And they're taking it great. They're like, that's their issue. It's not mine. And like, when I came out, my mom was worried about what other people were going to say about me. That's her biggest issue, is what other people. I'm like, Mom, people have been calling me the F word since elementary school.
Right.
Like, now I'm okay with myself,
Maybe
and I
when
don't
I own
care.
it, that will leave me
Now-
alone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now that, so I saw a lot of this in the kids' issues right now.
Yeah. Well, over at the Bower Lodge at the Après No Ski Party, Lisa Barlow is throwing a party in honor of Lisa Barlow.
This party is celebrating the fact that I'm a smart, successful woman.
Why aren't we getting invited to this, Lisa?
Seriously.
Why aren't you inviting us over to?
Because her sister's
stuff?
not in town. That's what we have. That's the kicker. That's the only promise she's made.
I need these housewives to invite us to parties. Like, I'm going to be.
Well, this looks like an all-female party. To success.
No, there's men there. I saw
there?
men there.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
normal-looking people too that weren't in, like, outfits.
Well, Lisa Barlow is celebrating that she herself is a smart, successful woman.
You better, girl.
I love it, and I love her Mugler denim outfit.
The cut looked weird on the pants every once in a while, but
Yeah, there were some angles that it did look kind of crazy, but I just loved the from behind. I liked the cut. I thought it was flattering on her. I thought it was. I don't know. I just liked it. It was weird in ways that I like.
Oh, I love that.
Whitney shows up with Evita Shotsky. Angie K comes bearing gifts also.
And why is Angie K wearing glasses from Star Trek?
That's her thing.
I mean, what was that guy's? It wasn't Data. It was that other guy, but he had, like, those glasses on that he could see through,
Yeah.
and lights or whatever.
Yeah.
But I was
That's
like,
her thing. That's her thing. She's wearing all
those.
kinds. She's worn like 4 or 5 different kinds of crazy sunglasses.
And having it like that doesn't help the case that she has one eyeball.
That's true.
So it's like, it's stressful.
But I thought when she was on Watch What Happens Live this week and she brought out those sunglasses and then brought out another pair for Andy Cohen and then brought out another pair for Bowen Yang and they're all Gucci, I was like, that is a baller thing to do.
And I would be like,
Not me.
I would be like, can I trade these in?
I would sleep in them. I would love them. Yes. No, I love them.
I mean, I'll still take them, but
See, Meredith is cordial to Angie K. She's not a monster. Angie K says she got a nose job so she could look like everyone in Utah. And you know what? I bet being a teenager in Utah where everyone does look like they come from the same family, I can only imagine.
like I was just saying the other day, we were watching our local news, and the meteorologist guy or the weather guy or whatever, you just look at him and you're like, you are Mormon. Like, you look exactly like a Mormon boy.
Yeah.
They all look the same.
I mean, they do. It's kind of like, I'm not comparing Mormons to Nazis, so please don't think that I am. But you know how, like, Hitler only wanted, like, blonde
hair, blue eyes,
yes.
square cut. Like,
Right.
it's just, they all look so similar.
Birds of a feather flock together, but they're not pretty birds. They're seagulls. And everybody hates seagulls because they shit on people.
That same haircut, the same smile, the same innocence as well.
Right.
They all have this weird innocence inside of them that you could see. It's
Right.
really weird.
It's funny. Well, they have a custom crepe bar. I'm into that. I love the rock candy stirrers.
Yes.
And they each have a small bottle of champagne for the toast. I'm like, okay, I want to be at this party for show. So Monica and Lisa get their crepes, but they don't get to eat them because Lisa immediately is like, it really, hurt my feelings that you were judging me for being materialistic. And Monica's like, well, you are materialistic.
Just
and
own
Lisa's
it.
like, well, I am materialistic, but I didn't like you calling me materialistic. That's really what this conversation is, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Don't call me. And I think I realize that for Lisa, it's more about you saying, well, you can't relate to the middle class. Just having a label on her in general. Is
And to be honest with you, this is Monica's issue. This isn't about Lisa. Monica, this is Monica's issue. If you don't like it that people are wealthy and spreading money around like I do, like I hate it too, but that's my issue because I'm poor.
And you know what? I really like Monica. I like Monica a lot, and I think she's great on the show, but I don't watch The Housewives to look at lower middle class.
Broke ass bitch.
Yeah, I want to see wealthy women who are living extravagant lifestyles. That's what I want to see.
That are dropping $90,000 on a birthday party. That's crazy.
What I want to see. So I'm not saying that Monica shouldn't be on the show, but maybe she's feeling insecure because she's on a show about that,
This is why they say more money, more problems, girl.
And Lisa does got a lot of money. That's for sure. But Lisa's like, judge everyone in the room if you're going to judge me then. Why are you singling me out?
It's because she's the only one talking about wealth.
And Monica's like, it's because no one else is talking about being on private jets with Snoop Dogg. And Heather's like, but I was.
Yeah, and the picture too. Yeah. But yeah, and this whole moment is a lot.
It gets really quite escalated, especially when Mary comes in. They're like screaming at each other, and Mary's like, I don't know if I should come in. I don't know if I can.
She's like,
in.
I'm overdressed.
Okay. I think I already know the answer to this. What did you think of Mary's outfit?
It looked like packaging supplies, like packaging paper and stuff. It looked ridiculous.
I loved it.
Oh, it's stupid.
I thought the skirt was
I hated the skirt. I love the jacket.
I thought the skirt was way too big for her, but I would have liked it if it was a little bit smaller and shorter.
You know when those unconventional challenges happen? It's like she raided the UPS store.
I loved it. I just thought it was the skirt in particular was too big.
Hated it.
Well, pretty controversial online as well.
It just feels childish.
It gets escalated. Angie K tries to insert herself into the conversation. She's always like on your shoulder, hey, but let me hear my opinion.
I don't want to compare it to any kind of animal or anything that's already happened.
Right.
It's kind of like that.
Well, the poor Angie K, she gets called a dog over and over and over and over
Well,
again.
stop doing dog things.
But Lisa steps away and then jumps back in to defend Angie K against Monica. Then we have the fingers in the face, which I hated.
And at one point, Angie tries to stick something in Monica's mouth with a straw or something. I was like, okay.
It's too much.
People doing stuff at people's face or touching faces, like Uba grabbing the glasses off Erin and stuff. I'm like, if somebody did that to me, I don't know how I'd take it.
And then it's over as quick as Lisa saying, you're deciding who I am without knowing me. And Monica saying, oh, well, I didn't mean to give that off. And Whitney jumping in saying, can you accept that she just said that?
I know.
Can you accept that she didn't mean that no one meant anything? And it's over. It was weird. It was so weird the way it over. But meanwhile, when Mary came in, you know, she goes to greet Meredith, and she and Heather are having real, like, Heather is loving her outfit. They're being really sweet. Mary's smiley, which is rare. So I was surprised a little bit later.
Oh, look, she's on her pills today.
It's time to white girl dance now.
Give us a good beat.
That's white girl dance.
When Lisa says, give us a good beat, I thought I was going to die. I was like, it was like when my friend Jesse said, yeah, Eminem pumps out some fat beats. I was like, that's the one.
Fat beats.
It's like Lisa Barlow. Play some fat beats, DJ. But Mary hates Whitney.
Oh, she hates Whitney so much. Every time she looks at her, she just can't stand her.
And she's like, Whitney looks cheap. I don't know about Whitney. She looks cheap. I'm like, you're not even...
You're not even talking to anybody. You're just talking to yourself.
So Monica gets a redo of her crepe and sits down next to Mary.
And I would never sit down to Mary eat because she's judging everything you're doing. And like, she's just watching her eat this in disgust in front of her.
Kind of ironic that Mary went to McDonald's the other night when since season 1, she's been giving people a hard time about their weight. But Mary isn't gaining weight. So so maybe that's the only thing she's eating, you know? But she will call you out. She's like, girl, you like to eat, don't ya?
I'm like, well, I do need to survive. I need to eat to survive. I mean, she's like, do you even care about what you're shoving in your mouth? Like,
but Monica just goes with whatever Mary says.
Monica is so desperate to be her friend. She wants to be on her side so bad. It's like, it's just that one person that is just such a curmudgeon. Like, if you get his friendship, you're in.
So when Heather told me that Mary was going to come to choir rehearsal, I was just like Monica. I was like, "Oh, hooray! I can't wait! I hope she says mean things.
I'm so
and
scared
I
of her.
hope that I win her over, and she's going to make fun of my warm ups without a doubt. But by the end of it, she's going to love me.
Why is it so hairy? You know you can shave. You're so hairy.
Yeah.
Why are you sweating so bad?
So I was just like Monica for that. But when I told you about it, you were like, "Ooh, I ain't coming.
I'm not coming. I'm afraid of her. I don't want to get cut down."
You know, Heather and Angie K are chatting when they talk about like having a big boob and things like that. And then Whitney pulls Monica aside
because she saw that he's like buddy with her right now.
I'm like, Monica, we Angie's our friend. I want to get involved. But there's a rumor that I don't even know.
Yeah.
There's a rumor that I don't even know but I do know that Meredith is ready to spread it.
Yeah. But I don't want to be involved in this. But I want to know what the rumor is.
Monica's like, you have to know because everybody knows. Like, there's no one in Salt Lake City who doesn't know this rumor. You know? But the rumor is that Hot Sean screws other men.
Okay.
No,
that's not true because he's like, we've met him and seen him and he hasn't tried to hit on us.
Did we?
Yeah, when we've met Angie.
We met Angie, we didn't meet Hot Sean.
Oh, we didn't meet Hot Sean?
No, we didn't.
Oh, we did tell her about Hot Sean, that's right.
But apparently they have an arrangement and their marriage is completely fake. Well, if they have an arrangement, then why are you worried about it?
I know. That's their deal.
Yeah.
That's their deal.
Seriously. And, you know, later on, they make a reference to where all the guys in town are talking about how Sean needs to do this and Sean. I'm like, guys in town, what are you doing? Why are you risking all of our chances to hook up with Hot Sean?
Yeah, don't be stupid.
Shut up. If they have an arrangement, then...
That's an arrangement.
Call us, Hot Sean.
Hey, Hot Sean, what's up?
So how does that work?
Well, they're going to get drunk and tell Angie K about it because that always works well.
Well, I don't want to be a part of it, but I want to go tell her. Let's go get drunk.
How dare Meredith not say a rumor when she has such ties to the LGBTQ community? Because Meredith hasn't said the rumor on camera yet. She's only said that there are rumors.
There are rumors.
Meanwhile, Mary's like, Heather, why'd you wear that necklace? And Heather tries to, like, why even try?
I know, you're already screwed.
She's like, well, I thought it looked good with this, and I thought it matched this, and I thought, and Mary's like, that was a mismove, girl. I'm like,
gosh, Mary, can't you say anything nice about people or just not say anything at all?
Mary needs to host The Weakest Link.
Ugh.
Remember how she would just insult people who were stupid?
Yeah,
Mary needs to be the new host of The Weakest Link.
I kind of want her to be on, remember the People's Couch, where they watch stuff and talk about, comment about things? I kind of want to show that.
Yeah, well, they do. They have the Below Deck Captain Lee and Kate Chastain have their own show, which is just them two on the couch. I really wanted to love it, but it was not the People's Couch-ish enough for me. Well, Whitney and Monica pull Angie K aside to take a shot, but their energy is so uncomfortable.
And the way they're going up to Andy, Andy's like, "Are you guys gonna murder me?"
I mean, Whitney looks like she can't breathe.
I literally feel like I'm gonna pass out.
I know. Whitney can't handle it. It's because she wants to say it so bad.
Right.
And like she even says, "I don't want to get involved. I don't want to be in this." And she looks at Monica to say it with Monica, but she's like, "All right, I'll say it."
So.
And I do love it that Monica's like, "Is it nipping in the butt or is it the bud?" Because I always think that. I'm like, is it bud, like a blooming flower, or is it the nip it in the butt?
Let's find it. Nip it in the bud.
It's the bud. Okay. I've been saying it wrong and correct my whole life.
Yeah. Nip it in the bud. Suppress or destroy something at an early stage. That makes sense. But that makes sense, like cutting the bud off of a flower.
I know. But,
okay.
Geez,
okay.
that was a rough description.
The more you know.
Shooting stars.
Well, at least
the show is about learning and experiencing and being on relationships.
Okay, so anyhow, they're like, Meredith has said stuff about your marriage, which again, she hasn't. Let's nip it in the bud. Is it bud or butt? It doesn't matter, girls. Tell me.
I know.
And Monica says that Hot Sean is stepping out on her. Angie K says, well, that's funny coming from Meredith because she's the one stepping out on her marriage, which has been a rumor since last season. A rumor.
The rumors and nastiness.
Monica continues again that his boyfriends need to be quiet because they're out in the streets of Salt Lake City.
I could tell you one thing. I'm pretty popular in the gay community, and I haven't heard anything about Hot Sean. I mean, this is a small gay world, so it would have come around.
Well, and again, if you are one of those guys and you're listening,
shoot us a message or something.
Again, only if there's an agreement.
Yeah.
Only if they have an arrangement.
Only if Sean says there's an agreement.
So Angie K gets up to address Meredith, and the episode is over.
Yes.
And I am over being in this hot closet. So let's go take a quick break, and we'll talk about New York City.
Bye.
All right, let's get a drink. Let's get a real drink.
This is Heather Gay from The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and you're listening to the Real Housebears podcast.
And we're back.
Back at Chanson, New York.
Chanson.
Jessel and Pavitt are at lunch, talking about
the little demons.
The little demons where they're like at music class and running around. Poor Pavitt.
I mean, do you really want to spend that much money on those kids' education this early? I mean, They obviously are not going to get it.
Well, here's the deal. Poor Pavitt couldn't handle 2 kids without a nanny. Mm-hmm. I mean, how can you not handle 2 kids without a nanny? People all over the world handle 2 kids without a nanny.
Yeah, and a full-time job.
You know, it's really hard for me to believe that Jessel likes Pavitt a whole lot. You know, he's like, can I get spicy food and like spicy chicken on my chicken and waffles? And Jessel's like, this is a French restaurant. They don't serve spicy food here. And I'm like, well, is chicken and waffles French? And did I not?
I don't think
did I catch that?
I don't think chicken and waffles is in France. I don't know.
Are you with me? Like, you're smiling, so I can never tell if you're serious.
So Jessel fills him in on the conflict with Erin. Erin assuming that Jessel was born with a silver spoon, and Sai not appreciating her story. But Jessel does want to meet with Sai to clear the air. She doesn't seem too interested to meet with Erin, but she does want to meet with Sai to clear the air. And Pavitt has already planned date night,
which I was surprised by. He took care of everything.
He did. I don't know how much he's looking forward to it, but at least he's doing the right thing. Even got a nanny. Over at Henrietta Hudson's,
Lesbian bar names are so different than gay bar names.
Right. But I'm surprised that Bren didn't just explode from all the lesbian attention she could have received in that bar.
It definitely was not her first time.
Do you think that performer was a drag queen or a female go-go?
I think it was a female go-go because of the bone structure on her shoulders.
Yeah, it was kind of hard to tell with the makeup she was wearing. So this is one of the first places that Jenna Lyons went when she came out. Bren loves a gay bar. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, surprise.
She's like, listen, if there's going to be good-looking people there, I'm going to be there, and I'm going to be drinking and flirting.
Yeah.
I support it. But Bren, she's like, I think I'm going to go home with a girl tonight.
See, I'm ready to finger bang.
Bren.
So this cute girl and this not so cute girl come
up because they only talk to the pretty girl and then the other girl like disappears. And I'm like, oh, you guys.
Isn't that nice? So at first I thought Bren was going to try to hook up with this girl. She's like, oh, you're into this? And like all in her face. Jenna Lyons is horrible at this.
She's been... she has not had to do this in a long time.
I mean, this other girl is kind of like giving it to her, like making it easy for her. But Jenna, I mean, she's just falling apart. And Bren's like, okay, let me direct this scene here. You're going to do this, you're going to do this, you're going to do this. You're going to ruin your life, and she's going to think about you for the rest of the night.
No, I love that. I love it.
So... And then when the girl can't get the Sharpie open to give Jenna Lyons her phone number, she's like, use your teeth. And Jenna Lyons like, well, all my teeth are fake. And I'm like, I don't know if that's what you would say this first meeting.
But it does show that Jenna Lyons is open.
Yeah. But I would maybe wait and tell her on our date.
Yeah, maybe, or something along.
I have this disorder where I have
or after marriage. Like, I don't know. Like, you really don't have to find out, do you?
But not even before you get the phone number, you know?
Just shows how bad she is at hookups.
But then when Jenna Lyons gets up on the stage, I'm like, okay, I love this self-loving part of yourself. And like...
Oh, it's hard for people to do that.
Yeah, I'm okay for people to look at me right now. Mm-hmm. You know, I thought that was fun. And, you know, Bren tips her and almost... eats her out.
I know.
Maybe she wants a MILF.
La Contenta Oeste.
Yeah. Well,
on the way to dinner, for once,
Anguilla.
Sai is not hungry.
She is more interested in drinks. I was surprised about this. I was like, you must have went to a buffet just before this.
Erin and Abe are like, we've got someone to watch the kids. Can we stay out all night long?
I want to hang out with Erin and Abe now.
100%. I am with Sai, though. It is oftentimes hard to have couple friends because inevitably two people are not on opposite teams are not going to be compatible. Mm-hmm. So often like that. Or like when your good friend gets a boyfriend or girlfriend that you hate. Like. Oh, it's the worst.
So annoying.
Well, on the boat in Anguilla, we find out that they had Bren send dirty texts to Pavitt pretending that she was Jessel. And I thought that was hysterical. But Pavitt doesn't like, she's like, I'm wet. And he's like, something like, get a towel.
Oh my gosh.
God, come on.
Pavitt is worse at flirting than Jenna Lyons.
Right? And then Erin asks the table, or the guys in particular, what would you do if you didn't have sex for a year and a half? And Abe says, I would have other women.
I would other women.
Now, could Abe have said it in a maybe more nicer, like less,
Not so quickly?
Right. Used maybe a more compassionate verbiage, something like that. But he said what we were all, the bottom line of what we're all thinking.
Yeah. And also it's just a hypothetical question.
Yeah.
It's not some serious question where you're like, are we going to get married if we do that?
Right. Yeah. 100%. So I people were, of course, were giving him a hard time. I was like, even Erin at the end of this says, well, I would have other men.
I know.
So, I mean, come on. He was being funny. Then we find out that they have had conversations, whereas maybe down the road, they could potentially invite someone else into their bedroom. I don't think particular swinging, as I think that's a pretty...
It would have to be like a one-night hookup, like random
someone
hookup
they don't know.
Just worked out.
Someone they don't know. Maybe even... Well, Jenna... So they've had this conversation before because Erin says Jenna Lyons recommended maybe a gay man. Mm-hmm.
A bi man.
Yeah, well, she said gay on the show.
Yeah.
But we have a friend who more likely probably identifies more as kind of fluid, but probably as a homosexual who has occasionally had sex with women. Mm-hmm. So I guess
it's not unheard of. And also, like, if I was a straight couple, that's what I would want. I would want to. Because, the man always wants two girls. Or, like, and then the girl's like, well, what am I going to do? Like,
right, yeah.
So, like, having a gay man, you could kind of experiment on both sides,
Yeah, and I don't know that Abe is necessarily into the idea right now, but he's not like, oh my God, that's the grossest thing I've ever heard.
It's an open conversation, which means a good, healthy relationship.
Right. I mean, I love the fact that, like, I feel like it is very important to have intimacy in a relationship.
Yeah.
Not necessarily intercourse, but definitely intimacy. So I like the fact that they keep that as a priority. Mm-hmm. Get it. Send me a video.
Bring in the gays. Bring in a unicorn. Bring in whoever.
Sai brings up that Uba has invited them into a healing ceremony. Sai's like, there's going to be screaming and stuff, and that's just not no.
Why? What is with rich people going to these sound baths and screaming release camps? Like, what is so stressful in your life that you guys have to go to all these things? It's so random.
I know.
And it's in every season. Like, of every housewife,
city.
they're going to either see a medium or a sound bath, or both.
Or they're going to some sort of, like, ceremony, somewhat like the healing ceremony in Salt Lake City, just all these different things.
It's like, y'all, rich people will get out of, like, indigenous stuff.
I could use a healing experience.
I love how interested Brynn is into just always being a better version of herself and knowing more. Mm-hmm. Like going to this, whoever heard at this Bauman Rare Bookstore, whoever heard of focusing on a particular book that doesn't have illustrations because they're harder to find because they were more easily recycled,
Yeah,
circulated.
People wouldn't keep them because they read it.
But what a niche, what an interesting
That just
thing.
means she's really into it and she thinks beyond anything else, but she loves the rarity of it and just things being taken care of for a long period of time.
And again, she just really enjoys having the information, learning.
I'm way intimidated. I would never be able to date Brynn. She's way too smart for me.
Well, but I feel like she's also really down to earth.
Oh, yeah, very.
And it's not like you're trying to date her. I think y'all could just shoot the shit. You both would just go daddy hunting on my own.
Oh my gosh, it would be so deadly.
Take that back.
There's just a couple of hoes hanging.
There's just some hoes.
I have a few friends, but in particular my friend Heidi, who loves to smell and touch books. Mm-hmm. Like she would explode going into an antique.
There's some kind of science to it or something. Like, isn't there a science like whenever you walk into a library, you automatically have to poop or something?
That there is science to that, but some people who are just really book people just love the way it
smells.
Yeah. But there is science to having to use the bathroom in a bookstore. Two sexiest things for a man to have is a Centurion card and a New York Public Library
That's
card.
pretty hot. That's a hot little sentence right there.
Brynn's birthday's coming up. They're going to plant a tree in Central Park in honor of Mimi. Mm-hmm. At Flolo Holistic, the healing is coming. The healing is coming.
Everyone get ready.
Uba wants everyone to let go of what happened in Anguilla.
Don't tell me what to do, Uba.
Right? Brynn can't come. She has COVID.
Oh, girl, been there, done that. I mean, it's still, just happened to you when you were filming.
Right. As with all of these healing ceremonies, we start off with our intention. Sai's is to be more present. Jenna Lyons is to be open and less guarded. I like that Alexandra cleared that. It's like to feel safe to open up. I like that she kind of clarified that. Jessel's is to stay grounded. Erin's is to be more patient and present with her kids. And then Uba, who has spent this whole season talking about how pretty she is and how fun she is. She wants to bring the love that she gives outside to herself.
Girl, you're going to explode.
Right. There's no more room for that.
There's no room.
There's no more room. So the women, they're shaking, they're shimmying. They lay down. They talk to their inner child.
I've been in situations like this at a church thing where they wanted me to repeat stuff, but I didn't know they wanted me to repeat stuff. And I'm like, this is where Jenna is right now. I'm like, you want me to say that? Really? Okay. My child is young and in space or something, like whatever they're saying.
Well, Uba really, like, lets go. She really lets go.
She's done this a lot.
Yeah. But Erin is like, is it okay that I'm already up? Like, I'm done.
I've already like shed a tear for something. I don't know.
Yeah. All of the women really did, though, find this very positive, except for Sai. She's like, come on.
She's like, is there food coming?
Food's brought in. Jessel invites Sai to lunch, but
Sai's like, not interested. She's like, could you be less interested in this?
I know, she's not. But Sai is always interested in the gossip. Jessel tells them about her upcoming date to the Ritz-Carlton. They're really excited to have sex.
Everyone wants details when it's over.
Jessel bought some very revealing lingerie.
It's very risque.
Then we have a cute scene at the Brooklyn Bakery with Sai and her daughter. This doesn't really push the story, but we haven't really seen Sai's kids much. She's,
she looks just like Sai.
She is a tiny little Sai who is a performer. Mm-hmm. She is a performer. This would be my daughter, probably. But then Sai, like, guilts her, like, oh, well, I was poor growing up. Your life is amazing, but I was poor. Your life is amazing, but I was poor.
I know. I didn't enjoy this part very much because, my mom struggled a lot as a single mom and stuff, and I would wake up in the middle of nights and she didn't know, and I would hear her crying in the living room trying to be quiet. My mom never let me know anything was wrong. Ever. She never let me worry about anything, but I knew there was something going on.
Yeah.
But I didn't kind of like her doing this, but at the same time, I think she was kind of leaning more in towards like, so I just want you to appreciate everything that you have instead of because you're just getting everything here and there, because it could not be that way.
Right. I think.
But at the same time, I think if you have kids, leave them out of it.
No, I think you were completely right. I think she was just saying, "Hey, I just want you to know that I love you so much that I want to make. I want you to know that I want to make sure you have everything that you want."
Because I didn't get everything.
Yeah,
but kids, they can take on parents' guilt and sadness on their own, and so this part was all right.
Yeah. Over at Pavitt and Jessel's, they're like packing for their date night. They're getting as drunk as they can, as early as they can.
I'm so getting liquored up tonight.
We see the lingerie, the crotchless lingerie that Bren took Jessel to buy.
And I love that she's like, they're crotchless panties, and Bren shows that she's wearing crotchless panties
right now.
at that moment.
Listen, you have to be ready. You have to be ready. You don't know when you need to stick something up there.
That is insane.
It probably makes it easier to pee, too. I don't know.
Gosh.
But when Jessel goes in and tries on that lingerie, coming out looking amazing, Pavitt laughs.
There's two parts here where I'm like, dude, like when she comes out and he just laughs at it, and then she is talking about like, this is dessert, and he's like, but can we have real dessert?
Yeah.
I was like, what?
And then when she's like,
I
reverse cowgirling him or cowgirling
him, and
it's
so uncomfortable.
He's like, I haven't touched you in 2 years. I can't. No.
And you're doing it on television. It's probably that extra stress of having to do this while on camera and talk about it. It's uncomfortable, but the tension of nervousness is palpable.
Right, it is. It's not comfortable. He doesn't seem into this at all. He doesn't seem into. And again,
I see him. I would
be nervous. I would be nervous if we hadn't been intimate in a year and a half. That would be, even when Jessel's like, it took me 20 minutes. I would have to have a good buzz on. For sure. I am so jealous of Uba in this bathtub with her little tray.
I know, she's got that. She does that a lot.
Bren calls in. Uba's like, you can't get COVID through an iPad, can you? Oh my gosh, come on. The healing ceremony was positive. Her mother would have been proud. They're not certain that Jessel and Pavitt are going to have sex. But Bren's like, let's put on maid costumes and bust in.
She's so ridiculous. With some flowers and lube.
Oh my gosh. At the Champagne Social Club.
Talk about another uncomfortable situation.
Okay. Well, first of all, Sai arrives 20 minutes late.
Yes. They were supposed to get there at 11, and Sai shows up at 11:20. And I don't know if Sai even sent a message to her saying I'm going to be 20 minutes late, etc.
Yeah. But Jessel's not there. Sai orders her food about 10 minutes later.
Like 8 minutes later.
Yeah. And then Jessel arrives about another 10 minutes after that. I'm just, estimating.
Yeah.
So Sai really only had to wait for 20 minutes. And so that wasn't too bad, especially considering she showed up 20 minutes later herself. But she is not happy about this.
Oh, she's irritated.
At all.
But how long do you wait at a restaurant without them texting you before you leave? Is it probably like a half hour?
Yeah, I don't...
But I would have messaged them being like, hey, is everything cool? Are you still coming?
Yeah, if I was going to be running late, I would just text them. I'm going to be running late. I don't know. It's weird. Jessel's also like, you're not drinking? What is wrong with you? I'm with Jessel on that. They talk about Pavit going to Vietnam to get a sandwich and to get some air miles. Sai is not buying this at all. Do you buy it? Pavit just doesn't seem like a super sexual guy. It's hard for me to believe, really. Maybe I'm naive and stupid, but I don't see him as the type to fly to Vietnam to have sex
for a night, just to have sex one night and then come back home.
Is there prostitution in Vietnam?
Probably.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Pavit might be the kind of guy who would get a prostitute for a night, though.
Do something freaky.
But Jessel says date night success.
I love it that she is also wearing the boyfriend's shirt look. The oversized button up. I love that.
She looks great. Jessel wants to clear the air that she was not trying to equate her life experiences to Sai's life experience, and even gives a sincere apology. Like, I didn't mean to come off like saying that
I was comparing my stories to yours, but I do have a story that compares to yours.
Right. Well, okay, so Sai's first response was, I don't care, Jessel. I don't care. I haven't thought about it since.
I'm like, that's all you're talking about in your confessional,
right,
Sai.
Right. But she's not interested. She's already let it go. She's pissed that she had to come to this part of town. She's pissed that she's missing part of the workday. She's kind of rude to Jessel, actually.
And I'm like, you're missing part of your workday? I'm like, honey, you're an influencer. You take 10 minutes here and there. It's like, you're not missing work.
So it's like, we could have done this on the phone.
But Jessel's trying. She's trying.
Now, here I feel like Jessel is not trying to compare. I feel like she's trying to relate. Mm-hmm. Tried to make a connection with Sai when she's like, I really connected to your story about your mother's alcoholism because the uncle that I lived with died of the same thing. So I just this is my moment for us to actually be on the same page.
We both have lost somebody to alcoholism. But Sai's like, I lost my mother. You lost your uncle that you lived with in New York.
Yeah. Sai's being very defensive.
She's not interested in this at all from the beginning.
She's not being very likable right now.
Not receptive.
So to be honest with you, I really don't care.
She just texts us the comparison. She's like, I gotta go. But Jess's like, but you guys don't want to listen to anything that I say. Like it doesn't matter what I say. You guys are going to tear it down. It's like, I just said I gotta go. Mm-hmm. And Jess is like, well, fine, I'll pay.
But it's just the fact that Jessel shows it was so brutal. It was just so hard. And she even cries about her uncle and stuff. Sai didn't even cry about talking about her mom. And Sai's just like, everything is just such a hard burden for you, but your stories aren't that bad. Why is this such a big deal? Why is it so brutal to have to live with your uncle when I had to struggle my whole life? I get both sides of it. They just aren't going to be compatible. Just don't try to be friends like that.
Well, again, I feel like Jessel cleared the air. She's like, hey, I'm sorry that I came across that way. I didn't mean to come across that way. But let me also talk about a way that we can connect on something. But Sai wasn't into it.
Yeah,
she ends the episode in her confessional saying that she had to wait for 45 minutes, and I was like, no, you didn't.
She waited for 20 minutes.
Yeah, so get over it.
And you're eating through most of it.
And you're getting paid to be there. Shut up.
I know. You are at work. You're not missing work. You are at work.
Right. Well, we're not paying you to follow us on our social medias, but it'll be all worth your time and wealth if you would follow us on Facebook and Instagram, The Real Housebears. On Twitter, X, Real Housebears. You can email us at therealhousebears@gmail.com.
You could also buy some merch on our Redbubble site, realhousebears.redbubble.com, right? And you could watch us on YouTube and Spotify, and you could listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you want to be #HouseBearsFamous, leave us a nice review on Apple Podcasts or just anywhere you want, or just comment on our stuff a lot.
Yeah, we get actually sponsorship for people who listen on Spotify, so listen on Spotify too.
Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
It's on.
Oh. Yeah, say stuff to sound check.
Oh, is that how today's going to be?
It sure is.
It better not.
It better be.
Who going to check me, boo?
I'll check you, boo.